While the winds of Teyvat have blown through countless updates by 2025, Xianyun stands as tall and steadfast as ever, the ultimate Anemo healer who shreds resistances, patches up your team mid-fight, and even flexes as a sub-DPS when the situation calls for it. Whether you're diving into Spiral Abyss with her classic support shine or experimenting with those niche overworld DPS setups, this guide covers the meta tweaks that keep her relevant in version 6.0 and beyond, especially in Furina-enabled teams where her healing scales like a dream. Jean's normal attack, Favonius Bladework, delivers a flurry of up to 5 strikes that can pull in some solid damage for on-field play, though it's mostly filler unless you're going full DPS mode. Her elemental skill, Gale Blade, whips up a storm to deal Anemo damage and launch enemies skyward. Hold it for crowd control pulls that set up fall damage or reactions, making it a versatile tool for grouping foes. The real star is her elemental burst, Dandelion Breeze, which summons a healing field that restores HP to your party based on her attack while dealing continuous Anemo damage and infusing Anemo for swirls. It's her bread and butter for off-field support, with that Ascension passive refunding energy to keep it cycling smoothly. Talent priority. Pump up her elemental burst first for maximum healing and shred potential, then her elemental skill for reliable pulls and damage, and cap normals last unless you're building her as a physical powerhouse. Jean's artifact build centers on boosting her Anemo shred and healing capabilities with the 4-piece Viridescent Venerer set leading the charge by shredding elemental resistances on swirls. Pair it with another Anemo like Kazuha or Faruzan for maximum synergy. If you're low on Viridescent pieces, mix 2-piece Viridescent Venerer with 2-piece Noblesse Oblige for a team-wide attack buff, or 2-piece Emblem of Severed Fate to enhance her burst uptime. For main stats, slot an Anemo damage bonus goblet to pump up her swirl and burst output, a healing bonus or crit rate circlet based on whether you want stronger heals or better crit scaling, and an attack percent sands to fuel her healing without overstacking energy recharge early. Substats should focus on energy recharge first to ensure smooth burst cycling, followed by crit rate and crit damage for hybrid builds, then attack percent, and a bit of elemental mastery for reaction heavy teams. Skip flat attack unless you're stuck with early game F2P artifacts. Jean's best in slot is Primordial Jade Cutter remains the best in slot, packing high base attack, crit rate substat, and that HP to damage conversion that feeds right into our healing scaling for a seamless support DPS hybrid. For 5-star alternatives, Mistsplitter reforged edges in for nuke potential on her burst, while Freedomsworn shines in team buff scenarios with its elemental mastery and party damage boost. On the 4-star front, Amenoma Kaguchi is the free-to-play king for energy generation via Succession Seeds, letting you spam bursts without sweating energy recharge sands. Festering Desire offers crit rate and skill damage amps if you've got event access, and Favonius Sword R5 is clutch for team energy particles and energy recharge starved comps. R5 Skyward Blade works too if you want more raw crit and plunge forgiveness. Jean shines as a healer shredder in freeze teams like Jean, Kazuha, Ganyu, and Kokomi, where Kokomi and Ganyu trigger freeze to immobilize enemies, Kazuha groups, and applies Viridescent Venerer Shred, and Jean sustains the team with her healing burst while swirling Cryo or Hydro for extra damage and resistance reduction. For hypercarry vibes, pair Jean with Furina, Nuvolette, and Kazuha, using her attack scaling heals to offset Furina's fanfare drain while amplifying Hydro damage through swirls. The classic Sunfire comp, Jean, Bennett, Xiangling, and Raiden Shogun, remains meta, leveraging Jean's swirls and healing to fuel a Pyro Anemo reaction loop. For sub-DPS Jean, try her with Raiden, Yelan, and Furina for electrocharge setups, where her Gale Blades pull groups enemies for Yelan's, and Raiden's burst to shred. And that's your 2025 blueprint for Jean, the Wind Knight who heals harder than she fights, shreds smarter than most, and keeps your runs breezy even in the toughest Abyss floors. Whether you're stacking her for sustain or sneaking in some DPS flair, she proves why she's still a free-to-play anniversary staple. Catch me live on Twitch for builds, pulls, and Jean-inspired win puns. Follow me on X for updates and hot takes, and don't forget to join the Discord to chat, theorycraft, and flex your artifacts. And hey, grab some clean merch at gachaking.store. By following this guide, you too can be a Gacha King! See you in the next one.